starting lineups for the Knicks: Allen Houston, Chris Childs in the backcourt, Larry Johnson, Patrick Ewing, and Charles Oakley up front. And for Miami, Hardaway and Leonard in the backcourt, Mashburn, Mourning, and P.J. Brown will be up front. Our officials led tonight by Dick Bavetta, joined by Bill Oakes and Nolan Fine. Game 5. A Miami victory tonight. They go back to New York for Game 6 on Friday night. A Knick win, and they get Chicago on Sunday.
Yeah, but that's what Pat Riley is telling his team. He's saying, listen, we got 3 games left, and 2 are in Miami. He has to think that way.
Tim Hardaway picked up immediately by Chris Childs. Pick and roll with Patrick Ewing. The first foul of the game is called on Chris Childs.
And every time there's a pick and roll, if you're Miami or Miami fans, you hold your breath because you hope Alonzo Mourning does not pick up a foul on a pick and roll play. He's done that most games so far.
At least one moving screen in each of the games. Here's Mourning taking it strong, left-handed. Loose ball picked up by Childs. Chris Childs taken away by Mashburn. Mourning is free at the other end, and they never looked down court.
But they didn't look up court, and that's key. Right. And that's what they have to do if they want to win this game, is get easy buckets.
Mourning, that's not an easy one over Ewing.
Alonzo Mourning 0 for 2, but being aggressive.
Houston on the cut. Here's the pick and roll with Larry Johnson. 9 on the shot clock. Allen Houston. They're fronting Patrick Ewing. P.J. Brown has him in the early going. Ewing short with the shot. Here comes Hardaway for Miami. Takes the jumper for 3.
And you know he's going to come to play tonight because he does every night. He has to be big for this team to win. And when he scores, so does everyone else.
Hardaway with the three-pointer. Puts Miami on the boards first. Here's Larry Johnson. He has played extremely well early in each of the games.
Yeah, he has. And I thought he was huge in the last game. He made a big 3 to stop a run in the third quarter to put them back up 11 points.
Mashburn comes across the timeline. There's a turnover. Miami has really had problems protecting the ball. And now Mashburn picks up a cheap foul.
You know, a lot has been made about the Alonzo Mourning, Patrick Ewing matchup, but it really hasn't happened. P.J. Brown has really done a nice job on Patrick Ewing. The tough part is Patrick Ewing is bigger. He gets in the paint. He can make the shot. There, shoots an air ball.
Talked about the shooting woes of Miami in the series, 38%. Here's Childs. He cans his first jumper of the night. New York did get above 50% in the Game 4 victory, but they, as a team, shooting only 40% in the series. Here's Hardaway up and under. No, the putback is good. P.J. Brown.
Yeah, but with Hardaway penetrating, there's help. When there's help, other guys can be free on the boards, and that's what happened there.
Childs guarded by Hardaway. Allen Houston with Sean Leonard. Houston with the jumper. No. Picked up by Mourning. Miami is up by 4. Is 1 of 3.
Yeah, I thought Alonzo Mourning showed nice patience. Just took his time, watched what the Knicks are going to do defensively, and then made his move.
Over the 4 regular season games and the 4 playoff games between these two, here's Johnson in the lane. No. Rebound, P.J. Brown. It is amazing how whoever outscored the other at center dictated who won the game.
Yeah, and though they don't guard each other, their center points still make a big difference. Oh.
For Sean Leonard, and it's a 9-point, 11-2 lead. Timeout, New York.
Great pass by Alonzo Mourning. Easy dunk by Sean Leonard.
Not one player has played in the playoffs, throughout the course of the playoffs, to the level of the regular season play. And usually in the playoffs, you got to go above that norm. We've had guys have good regular seasons, but not one player on our team has played to that level. And we have to get at least regular season performances.
There's the truth, according to Pat Riley.
Yeah, he spoke the truth. He's been speaking it for 2 days now, and he's right. And usually it's the star players who pick up their game, the Magic Johnsons, the Larry Birds, and the Michael Jordans. They have great regular seasons and even better playoffs.
Larry Johnson guarded by Mashburn. Here's Patrick Ewing. New York 1 of 6 in the field. Ewing 1 of 7 for the Knicks now. P.J. Brown with another rebound for Miami. That's 3 Brown rebounds. Whistle, foul underneath the basket. Larry Johnson, I believe. Yes. Third team foul on New York.
And this series, this has been going on all series, banging, pushing, and there's definitely no love lost between these two guys right here.
Former teammates with Charlotte. 7:04 to go, opening quarter. Leonard kicks it back to Mourning. Now they're working left side, Hardaway. Entry pass to P.J. Brown. Ewing's got him. Hardaway for 3. And P.J. Brown goes after it, got it. Puts it up and in.
And that's the difference. That's the difference. In Game 4, Charles Oakley and the Knicks came up with every one of those. And tonight, so far, it's been the Heat.
And New York has had problems from the field, 1 of 7 thus far. Larry Johnson, Mourning picks up the foul.
And what a smart play. He had no intentions of making that shot. He was trying to get fouled.
Watch P.J. Brown at the other end, Doc.
And what he's doing is just keeping the ball alive. Just staying in it, gets it alive, gets the ball, and gets it, I guess you would say, an easy layup.
It's Mashburn, we're told now, instead of Mourning with the foul. Dan Marley, who did not see action until 2.5 minutes remained in the third quarter of Game 4, is off the bench now. He was not happy about that.
No, he wasn't. I honestly thought it was his back, and there was something. After the game, he said he felt fine. That was not his decision. Now, he took it like a man because he's a veteran player, but he was not happy about it. That's good if you're Pat Riley tonight, because you know he's going to play mad. Playing mad for some players is good. He's one of those type of guys.
Knicks have had a decided edge at the free throw line, but Johnson gets only 1 of 2. New York 81% from the free throw line in this series. That one a little too high. Here comes Allen Houston. A 10-point Miami lead. Back to Houston. Passes on the jump shot. Finds Oakley for 3 from the corner. Tipped out, Chris Childs for New York.
The Knicks are getting good shots. They're not making any of them.
Childs, Ewing. That one goes. 13-5, 5:45 to go, opening quarter. Offensive foul.
Offensive foul on the Heat, number 21.
Rashawn Leonard for shoving off.
And there's been so much shoving in this series. It's funny, right now, of the 5 games that's been played, or the 4 games that have been played, and count this as the 5th, this is the closest called game that I've seen so far.
Why do you think?
Well, it's different refs. You know, you never know who and the why, but it's a different crew tonight, and that's what you're seeing.
Allen Houston gets his first basket. And a bit of a run now by the Knicks. They've cut the 11-point lead to 6, 13-7. Screen from Patrick, from Mourning, rather. Now Dan Marley looks underneath. Houston guards Leonard. They front P.J. Brown. He's out of bounds with a turnover. That's 3 turnovers now for Miami.
And much has been made about this little matchup here. You know, Allen Houston is so much bigger. He is fighting Rashawn Leonard right there. The problem, Allen Houston has a 3-inch height advantage. He can shoot it whenever he wants.
Ewing over P.J. Brown. Taken away by Mourning. Under 5 to go in the first quarter now. Mourning guarded by Oakley. Crowd urging him to take Oakley, and he will go to the free throw line. But that has not been happy news for Miami. P.J. Brown with 6 points, and the rest of the team with 7.
That's not a bad sign, though, P.J. Brown, because he's an effort player. It's like Charles Oakley. If he has a lot of points or rebounds, you know it's effort. And if you have your effort player doing that, then you know the other guys will fall in line.
Here's an early litmus test. Mourning at the free throw line. He's under 50% for the series.
And that's why he had an open shot right there, Vern, and they chose to foul him. They're going to foul him every time he gets close to the basket. He can make 10 in a row, and they're still going to foul him because they don't believe he can keep making free throws.
18 of 37 in this series now. John Starks, the star of the game. The victory in Game 4 is on. Starks with 21 points off the bench in that victory.
And Jeff Van Gundy going to the three-guard offense early. It's funny how that three-guard offense evolved in this series. Pat Riley went to it because he was down. Jeff Van Gundy matched it, and it worked better for Van Gundy, so now he's using it throughout.
Oakley, Ewing, Childs, Starks, and Allen Houston. Sean Leonard guards Starks, Marley on Houston. Oh, he's got a quick step.
It's amazing. He is so big, so quick, and he can jump, has a great shot. I mean, look at this. Look at this first step. In one step, he was by Dan Marley. Now, we should say Dan Marley is not playing at 100%.
Marley, back surgery back in January. There's Mourning, who was being fronted. Kick it out to Vashawn Leonard. He spots up for the three and doesn't get it.
But that's a great example of how important Alonzo Mourning is. He had the ball, and look, just watch this. There will be three guys on this lob pass. He's surrounded by three guys, and when he draws that much attention, Vashawn Leonard gets open looks. He just got one, but he didn't make it.
14-9, a 7-1 New York run now since they called the timeout. Alonzo Mourning with another rebound. He's got 5 rebounds in the first quarter. 3:42 to go, opening quarter. Mourning guarded by Oakley again. Ewing comes to help. P.J. Brown, it's on the floor, and Oakley has it.
Not long believe if you can get away with your power forward guarding the center, and the center can help, that makes it so much more effective when you got a Patrick Ewing running at you.
Hardaway behind the back, little floater, and another foul on Miami. And a technical foul.
And they have to be careful because frustration is so easy when you're down 3-1. I'll give you a great example. The Lakers, Robert Horry gets thrown out early in the game, technical fouls. And if you think about those shots, that's what lost the game for them. They have to be real careful here.
Allen Houston will shoot. Charles Oakley will. You get your minutes wherever you can.
Yes. Give me some rest. You know, and I can feel the frustration for P.J. Brown or any of the other guys. If you look at it, they've been playing one way this whole series. Now he's thinking, what's going on? You're calling it close now. That's tough. That's really tough to adjust as a player.
Oakley down. They're going to get Mourning with the foul.
Wow.
Wow.
You know, this is amazing. What Charles Oakley is saying, or Mourning, is, I didn't mean to trip him. The response is, you still tripped him. And it's still a foul, though I don't know if you call that. I've always had a rule, if it doesn't affect the play, don't call it.
Oakley at the free throw line. And Mourning with his first foul. But he has had 5 fouls, 6 fouls, 5 fouls, 6 fouls in the 4 games.
And of those fouls, very few have been on the guy he was guarding. A great example is right there. Charles Oakley is just cutting. Alonzo picks up a foul. You can't pick up those type of fouls if you want to stay in the game and help your team win. The New York 3-guard offense has been huge in this series. Because they can all shoot, it spreads the floor and allows Ewing to go one-on-one. Watch here, John Stark gives the ball. Nobody's going to leave their man. Even more importantly, they have 3 ball handlers on the court at the same time. Any one of them can bring it up while the others run the floor, making their offense almost unstoppable in the open court. The results are easy to look at. +9, +13 in game 3 and 4.
Allen Houston, Chris Childs, and John Starks, the 3 guards on the floor right now. 7 points between them.
And one of the reasons they can get away with it and other teams can't is because they have a big two-guard in Allen Houston. He can guard most of the small forwards in this league.
Oakley. And let's check in with Brian Burwell.
Vernon, the Miami huddle, Pat Riley was trying to diagram some plays for Vashawn Leonard, but he emphasized to P.J. Brown, set a good pick. So let's see what happens.
All right, here's the attempted pick, P.J. Brown. Hardaway to Leonard. There you go. Good call. Nice call, Brian. Way to eavesdrop. Way to be a reporter. Good ears. 16-12, 2:45 to go. First quarter. Starks. Ewing with the putback. Nope. Tip. Hardaway has it. Vashawn Leonard. This is for Mourning. Mourning didn't expect it.
Vashawn Leonard has to take that shot. He usually pulls up for a three-pointer or at least takes a little short jump shot. You can't give the ball to any center when he's running in traffic.
Turnovers now even. The lead is 4, 2.5 to go opening quarter. Hardaway has Childs. Patrick Ewing. Seen that before?
Yes. You know, it's funny you talk about Patrick Ewing. Fans kill him because they say he takes too many jump shots. Well, he makes them. If he's making them, he should take them. Now, if I took jump shots, you should say he takes too many jump shots.
The lead is 2. Here's Mourning underneath, fouled. Back to the free throw line for Alonzo Mourning, where he has given us one of the enigmas of this series. Foul is on Starks. And Mourning shoots 2.
And this is already a good sign for Miami. They're up 2 points. Alonzo Mourning's on the free throw line. You always watch when teams are down 3-1 how the first quarter goes. If they fall behind 15 points or 10 points in that first quarter, usually it's over. They're in this game, and they're probably going to be in this game throughout.
Their problems, though, have come in quarters, really quarter number 3, but in game 4 it was the second quarter.
Yeah, in game 4 was the second quarter, but so far in this series, they've played better than the Knicks for the first half. The Knicks have played better than them in the second half, and if you got your choice, you would choose the second half.
Mourning gets them both. It's back to a 4-point edge at the 2-minute mark of the first quarter. Miami actually was up by 12 on the road in game 3. Hardaway going for the steal, and he knocks it out of bounds.
Just careless mistakes by the Knicks, and this is their MO. And they're a team that led the league in turnovers during the regular season, and they're doing it again. And every time you watch them, you're amazed. It's not always from defensive pressure, though that last one was.
Childs guards Hardaway. Rebound, Patrick Ewing. Tim Hardaway has missed his last 6 shots. Here's Starks. Perfect. Speaking of a guy who missed a few shots, games 1 and 2 particularly, but then 9 and 12 from the field for John in game 4. Mourning.
You knew he was going to keep taking them. That was the one thing for sure.
P.J. Brown. And he'll go to the free throw line.
Yeah, I think P.J. Brown has just had a tremendous series. You know, they're down 3-1, but it's not from his play. His numbers might be down a little bit, but in this situation, when you have a great defensive team and playing against Oakley every night, P.J. Brown has really played well.
Already with 5 rebounds, 3 of them offensive.
He's blocked shots, he's rebounded, and he's guarded Patrick Ewing for most of this series.
Well, how about the game coming up tomorrow night on TNT from Seattle, Game 6, the Rockets and the Sonics. The Glove did his job, didn't he, in Game 5?
He said that's what they call me. They call me the Glove.
Gary Payton all over Matt Maloney in that one. Willie Anderson, who got extensive minutes in Game 4 to the surprise of everyone, including himself.
Yes, you can see it in his eyes. But he played well. And, you know, they want him or Marley to guard Houston and Starks.
Here's Starks. Oh,
my.
Oh, John.
The problem with John Starks, when he's hot, it really doesn't matter who guards him.
Willie Anderson kicks it back to Marley. Marley penetrates, dishes to P.J. Brown. Got the roll. 45 seconds to go in the first quarter.
Well, Pat Riley said something yesterday was really interesting. He said whoever doesn't play hard, whoever is not producing is coming down. They're sitting down, and I don't care who it is.
Charles Oakley. That's for 2, and it's a 1-point margin with 25 to go in the quarter. Ike Austin is on the floor now for Miami, number 8. He throws it 3 rows deep.
And that's, again, Rashawn Leonard passed up a shot. Ike Austin passed up a shot already in this game. And during the regular season, those are the 2 guys who were giving the Heat the 12 and the 14 extra points per game.
The Knicks fell behind by as many as 11 in the early going. Now a chance to lead at the end of the first quarter of play. And they're going to put it in the hands of Allen Houston.
He just went around Tim Hardaway on that play.
They trail by 11 at 1 point, despite the efforts of P.J. Brown's 9 points. The Miami Heat find themselves down by 1. It's New York 22, Miami 21. Welcome back to Game 5, the Eastern Conference semifinals from Miami, Florida, with the Heat facing elimination unless they can pull out a victory tonight. John Starks off the bench. In the first 2 games, ineffective. In Game 3, he had a really good defensive outing, but then he lit it up offensively in Game 4.
And the thing about John Starks is in the past, if John Starks was struggling, they didn't have anyone else to go to that could get you those 20 points. Now you have Allen Houston on this team. If John Starks is struggling, they still won 2 of the 3 games that he didn't play well in. And then when he's playing well along with Allen Houston, dangerous team.
Patrick Ewing gives way to Buck Williams, the 37-year-old veteran. And Williams is guarded by P.J. Brown. Here's Oakley. Austin late getting there.
And that's who they're choosing right now to shoot. The problem is Charles Oakley can make that shot, and he loves to take that shot.
Oakley 2 of 3 in the early going, and a 3-point New York lead. Miami, after a quick start, has gone cold. 3 of their last 12. Marley rejected by Buck Williams, who takes Marley down as well. 10 on the shot clock. Charlie Ward comes on now, and Chris Childs will get a rest. You say to yourself, how do teams psych themselves up? How do they prepare for ball games? What did we see was going on in the New York locker room?
Wasn't that interesting? We go in the locker room before the game, and the Knicks, to psych themselves up, were watching Charlie Ward highlight films of his Heisman Trophy year in football. You can take that a lot of ways. Maybe we're going to play very physical.
And let's check in with Brian Burwell.
Thank you, Vern. For a man who knows his team is 1 game from elimination, Pat Riley had very little complaints. He just said, we got to make sure that Charles Oakley doesn't get any of those jumpers. And also, the Knicks, watch for some defensive pressure after made baskets. Back to you guys.
Willie Anderson with a steal. Here's Mourning, and he is fouled by Allen Houston. That's the 2nd foul on Allen Houston.
That's one of the reasons they brought in Willie Anderson, is to get turnovers. And that's what you can look at the reach. What a great move by him. He's a nice defensive player. He's known, again, as a smooth, silky player, but he plays defense. And that's a smart foul by Allen Houston. It's his 2nd, so he has to come out of the game.
And Larry Johnson comes on, replacing Allen Houston. Hardaway from Marley. Underneath the Mourning, guarded by Buck Williams now. The double team comes from John Starks. Willie Anderson kicks it to Marley. 5 on the shot clock. Here's Marley. Willie Anderson from the corner. Yes, that's for 2. Put on the line.
And it's amazing when you give a guy a shot. Right now, Willie Anderson is thinking, he's giving me this shot. I want to make the best of it.
Charlie Ward guarded by Hardaway. Here's Starks. Larry Johnson. Marley picks him up. Buck Williams helping out. And Buck Williams with the rebound. Charlie Ward for 3. Willie Anderson with the rebound for Miami and the chance to reclaim the lead. Anderson was a DNP CD in the first 3 games. Did not play, coach's decision. Hook shot from Mourning, no good, and it's out of bounds on Miami. Tim Hardaway has missed his last 7 shots, and Alonzo Mourning is 1 for 6.
Yet they're only down 1 point. Both of them have been aggressive. And since they're being aggressive, I think they're getting other guys shots.
Oakley misses this one. On the top, that'll be Miami ball. 9:59 to go, first half of play. The New York Knicks up 3 games to 1, lead by 1. Western Conference semifinals continue tomorrow night. Of course, Utah is in now. Tomorrow night, Game 6 at 9 o'clock. Note that start time as the Sonics host the Rockets in Game 6 with the Rockets up 3 games to 2. And that's tomorrow night at 9 o'clock. Glenn Rice making another appearance here in Miami. And let's check in with Brian Burwell.
Vern, in the Miami huddle, Alonzo Mourning told his teammates, hey, guys, those were all good passes. I have to start making the shots. Back to you, Vern.
All right, Brian. Here's Hardaway, who needs to start making some shots, too. Illegal defense, that's the first one called tonight, so we'll have a warning.
Well, that's nice on Alonzo's part. He's right. He does have to make the shots, but his teammates love, and teammates love when stars step up and take the blame. They feel much better. They say, well, I guess he's not perfect after all. It's good, though, and you know Alonzo at some point will make the shots, and so will Tim Hardaway. Hardaway
is guarded by Ward. And there's a turnover. Tim Hardaway showed signs of fatigue in Game 4, and he turned it over 6 times in that game and 6 times in the loss of Game 3. That's his first tonight, however.
Yeah, much has been made about the back-to-back games and how it was going to affect the Knicks. I thought the one guy it affected over anyone else was Tim Hardaway.
Patrick Ewing back on the floor, gives it to Charlie Ward, who returns the favor, and there's a block from Mourning.
Great defense, and that's what Alonzo does. You know, we talk a lot about his fouls and him picking up fouls, but he plays so hard, you would never want to take that away.
Another cheap foul on Alonzo Mourning. Oh, my goodness.
Just when I was talking about him playing hard, he does that. But it's still the same. The guy plays so hard. And then Pat Riley was telling us, he said, it's tough to tell him not to play hard. That's what you want your players to do. And here's the foul here. Yeah, I don't know if I think he's gotten 2 fouls now, a trip and that I don't know if you call either one.
Right. 24-23, 8:59 to go. Buck Williams. That one out of bounds, and it will be New York ball.
Yeah, and if Alonzo Mourning had 0 fouls, Buck Williams would have just tried to lay it in. Instead, he throws his body right at Alonzo. He's not making this shot. He's trying to draw a foul. Smart refs that they knew what he was doing.
Starks to Ewing. Mourning guards Ewing. Traveling. 6 turnovers, New York. They have done well protecting the ball in this series. But tonight, not so. Tim Hardaway gets a rest, and John Crotty comes on. So it's Crotty, Marley, Austin Mourning, and Willie Anderson.
And Pat Riley's going to stay with Alonzo Mourning. He should. He only has 2 fouls. The 3rd foul would get him taken out of this game.
Starks in the passing lane. Willie Anderson called for the foul.
And there's times when you want fouls and there's times when you don't. If you're the Knicks, you didn't want that foul right there. Watch Willie Anderson. He pushes off. He's just trying to get guys in the way. But if you're John Starks, you would rather that foul had not been called because you had a clear path to the basket.
3 straight Miami turnovers now, each time with a chance to take the lead. Here's Ward guarded by John Crotty. Larry Johnson comes across the lane, asks for it, travel. Well.
A lot of whistles in this game.
Yeah.
I'd rather see more play.
How do we get that message across?
Well, they have to stop traveling.
8:15 to go in the first half. Crotty, the screen from Mourning. Boy, he was sliding that hip. Crotty finds Marley over Larry Johnson. Long rebound, Ike Austin. In the corner to Willie Anderson. He goes baseline, rejected by Buck Williams. Now Ward, right side to Starks. Off the glass and in after Marley tried to knock it down.
Buck Williams is another guy like P.J. Brown that's had a huge series. You look at his numbers, he's doing nothing. But he has done great things for the Knicks team in this series.
Marley guarded by Johnson. Here's Mourning. In the lane, in and out. Ike Austin goes up for the rebound.
If you're a coach, you love great screens. Look at this screen right here by Patrick Ewing. Oh, my. Bigger man than Marley is trying to fight through a wall right now. Walls don't move.
John Crotty, 7:25 to go, first half of play. Anderson. Mourning again. Crotty will penetrate. Find Mourning with a jumper. 1 of 8 for Alonzo Mourning.
And another foul. So Alonzo Mourning got 3 fouls in this game. 1 on Charles Oakley, 1 there on Charlie Ward, the other one on John Starks. All 3 fouls were away from the ball. All 3 fouls, in my opinion, in his defense, were calls I don't know if you made.
Right. Dick Bavetta made the last one. John Thompson looks on. Mourning sits with 7 to go in the first half. Steal from Willie Anderson. He's got Crotty right side. Crotty, the putback is no good. Loose ball, here come the Knicks. Miami can't buy a basket. Buck Williams. P.J. Brown will guard him. Spin move by Ward, in and out. Ike Austin rebound.
I tell you what, if Miami plays, they have a chance at this game. Because right now, the Knicks are right. They are not playing well.
Austin takes the, he passed him the shot, goes underneath. And we're going to go to the free throw line. It's the second and first time it's called. 6:23 to go, first half.
Teams have managed to, have a mediocre regular season and just position themselves in the playoff. And all the things that they've done in the regular season have been overshadowed by their playoff performance. And it's been the totally opposite for us. People remember you by how you perform in the postseason. And right now, we really haven't performed up to par thus far.
And one constant theme for Alonzo Mourning has been foul trouble in the playoffs again this year. But he got a couple of really cheap fouls early tonight.
Yeah, really tough calls. And yes, they are fouls, but I don't know if you call either one of those. He did grab John Starks. John Starks reacted. And then right here, you can see Charlie Ward more tripping over Alonzo because he ran into him. And the foul, I tell you what, though, it happens. The refs can call those fouls because they all 3 were fouls. You usually don't call those fouls. And now he's sitting on the bench. And it not only hurts, obviously, the production that he can give them when he's on the bench, it also hurts the team's production because now who do you trap? When you look at the Heat in their lineup right now, you have 4 reserves and P.J. Brown on the floor, and Riley is living up to his word. He said he was going to tell him the truth, and the truth he said was, if I don't like the way you're playing, you're not playing. And right now, he has 4 subs in the game.
Few of us would have envisioned a lineup for Miami in Game 5 of John Crotty, Willie Anderson, Ike Austin, Dan Marley, and P.J. Brown. That's the quintet that's on the floor right now.
And what Pat Riley is trying to do is get effort. If he can show guys effort and it works, then everyone else will do it. This is a critical time in the game for Miami. Wow.
Yes. Pass from Charlie Ward. Buck Williams, and the lead is 4. Largest lead of the night for the Knicks. I'm thinking back all of a sudden to Game 3 in the first round. Miami and Orlando. Here's Marley for 3. In and out. In that Game 3, Miami had a 20-point lead with 6:49 to go in the second quarter when Mourning went to the bench with his third foul, things haven't been the same for Miami since that point.
No, it hasn't, and it needs to be made mention. They had a chance to sweep, and they didn't. All the veteran teams did. The veteran teams got rest, and they're fresh right now.
Crotty off the dribble, takes the jumper. They cannot get the ball in the hole.
They're not getting shots that they want, and they're not getting shots because the two key guys that they need are not in the game right now.
Between them, Hardaway and Mourning have hit 2 baskets tonight. Here's Larry Johnson over Marley. Ike Austin pulls down the miss, gets to Willie Anderson. Under 5 to go in the first half. The margin is 4. New York is up.
And as poorly as Miami are playing, and watching this game here, they are playing awful right now. It's a 4-point game. The Knicks are giving them every opportunity to wake up and get back in this series.
Ward almost went. Marley hauls down the rebound. Here comes Crotty. 3-on-3. Crotty got one. Well, Pat Riley is going to put 4 fresh faces, or 3 freshmen in the lineup in a moment. Next dead ball. Hardaway's getting ready to come back in. Bashawn Leonard and Jamal Mashburn. Time has been called by New York.
Now take a look at John Crotty. They teach head fakes. He's still doing it. Patrick Ewing bought it. John Thompson is not happy.
The NBA playoffs on TNT, brought to you by Jeep, makers of the Jeep Grand Cherokee, Cherokee, and Wrangler. By the Home Depot, where low prices are just the beginning. And by Fila, change the game.
In this series, good things happen on dribble penetration. Right here, look at Ike Austin. Even more importantly, look at Buck Williams. When Charlie Ward penetrates, he gets help. No one helps. Buck Williams gets an easy dunk. That was Ike Austin. There's a saying, if I give help, I want you to give me some more help. No help. Buck Williams gets a dunk. Give help, get help.
Chris Childs, Larry Johnson, Patrick Ewing, Oakley, and Allen Houston, the starting 5, back to the floor. Here's Ewing underneath. Nice pass from Allen Houston. And it's a 4-point lead once again at the 4-minute mark. Tim Hardaway back on. Austin, Hardaway, Mashburn, P.J. Brown, and Bashawn Leonard. Kick loose. Mashburn. Oakley gets rid of it, finds Chris Childs. And here's Oakley off the dribble. He travels. Well, you got 2 things going here. New York can't protect the ball. They keep turning it over. Miami can't shoot the ball. They've hit 1 of their last 13.
And I'm surprised, and I was saying this, I don't think Miami's playing with any emotion. And I'm surprised by that. You're down 3-1, and you never know how a team's going to come out. The problem is the Knicks are playing worse. The Knicks are up. They should be up. All the key guys in Miami are sitting down.
Mashburn in the lane is fouled, and we'll go to the free throw line.
Foul number 2, Larry Johnson, his 3rd.
Larry Johnson gets his 3rd. With Mourning on the floor, Miami up 11. But he's going to sit for the rest of this half with his 3rd foul.
Yeah, it's always going to be a minus, usually. There's some difference. Sometimes that changes. But in most cases, Alonzo Mourning or Tim Hardaway, if they're sitting down, then you're going to have problems with your team getting offense. You know, if you're Pat Riley and you're looking at this score and you're saying, boy, we're playing with no emotion right now. If I can get this team in the locker room and be down only 2 points or maybe even be up the way the Knicks are playing, I could have a great halftime speech. And all I want is one guy to catch fire. And if he does, we have a shot.
You want to designate the guy?
Well, he would love it to be Tim Hardaway.
Miami 6 of 10 from the free throw line. 3:10 to go in the half. Oakley looks for Ewing. P.J. Brown doing the defensive job on him, and they got him as he went up for the shot. Bashawn Leonard called for the foul. That's his 2nd.
His 2nd, team foul number 4.
Coming up on the Nike halftime report, Grant Hill will join Ernie Johnson in our Atlanta studios, and they'll preview the Rockets and Sonics game. That's coming up tomorrow night.
That was a great game last night. That was a great game. That's a series no one can really predict. You never know how Seattle's going to play. But Seattle right now, they're playing with the heart of a champion, at least a champion of the West, and they don't want to get that up that easy.
Ewing misses both free throws, and New York continues to grasp a 3-point lead.
And if you look at the two coaches, I think the guy with the more desperate look right now is Jeff Van Gundy, because he knows, see, guys, we can close them out. We can close them out right now, and you're keeping them in the game.
In the meanwhile, the Bulls are resting. They get the winner of this series. And it has been a little arid for the Heat.
And that's a battery I would not want to recharge too much. And that's that Michael Jordan battery.
P.J. Brown in the lane, no. Offensive board. The putback, no. Rashawn Leonard has it blocked. Starks. Leonard guards Starks. Hardaway has Childs. Ewing wants it. Brown fronts it. Travel. Well, we've got our theme, don't we? Turnovers and no shots.
Yeah, and poor play.
Yes.
Because right now, both teams are playing poorly. It's a 3-point game. If I'm Miami, I'm happy.
I got a buddy who coined a phrase about 20 years ago called "go ugly early."
Yes.
These teams have. 2:10. Foul is on Chris Childs.
Chris Childs, his second penalty.
That's his second, and we're in the penalty.
And Chris Childs is not happy about that call, because he's been saying all series that Tim Hardaway uses that inside arm off of pick and rolls, pushes you into the pick, and that's how he gets open. So Chris Childs decides to grab it to try to draw attention to the refs that that's what he's doing, and he gets called for the foul. You can't grab.
Tim Hardaway has a load on his shoulders again tonight.
He's had a load on his shoulders this entire season, and there can be a case made for Tim Hardaway for MVP, because if you look at this team without Dan Marley and without Alonzo Mourning to win their division, that's an amazing accomplishment, and it was done by Tim Hardaway.
Hardaway with a career year and unwanted in the summer, and here Mashburn in Houston, and a technical foul on Mashburn.
You can see him right now. Mashburn is just doing anything he can to not allow Allen Houston to catch the ball. And then the little frustration, you would laugh because, you know, the Knicks wear their shirt, make him feel you. He just threw a punch and nobody felt him.
Houston gets a technical. And it's back to a 3-point margin, 31-28. Marley will come back on the floor for Miami. And Mashburn, who picks up his third, has a word or two for Allen Houston. And I'll promise you, Allen Houston did not respond.
No, I'll tell you what, if you want to see an emotionless player, that's Allen Houston. And actually, I like that if I'm a coach, because you can't really get to him. And if you are, you don't know it.
New York has turned it over 11 times in the first half. The problem for Miami is that they don't have any points off the turnovers.
They don't have any points right now on the court. If Tim Hardaway's not going to make shots, then they're really in trouble. The only guy right now who maybe can create something for you is Dan Marley.
Hardaway.
Or Rashawn Leonard.
Right. Leonard fights off the screen, gets it, puts it out. Oh, it goes underneath to Austin. There we go. Leonard found Ike Austin, and Austin found the glass in the basket.
And the difference in the game right now, it's only a 2-point game, is that Miami, the only way they can score is by running great offensive plays. The Knicks can either do that or just do it individually like this.
Marley has Houston, who takes the three over it. Now, he hit that one in front of us
yes, he did.
on Sunday. Hardaway. P.J. Brown, a late arrival. The trailer, the ultimate trailer, he gets it, no basket. John Starks, no, Ewing. That's his second.
And this is just great offense right here. A play Pat Riley drew up, and it worked to perfection. And look at the late guy coming in right there, P.J. Brown. gets a foul, gets a chance to put this game into a tie if he can make both free throws.
With Alonzo Mourning sitting down, 7 minutes to go in the half with his third foul, Miami has managed to stay in this game.
Yeah, they really have. And you know what's interesting is Pat Riley is subbing like every 30 seconds. It's like a summer league game. You know what he's looking for? He's looking for a player. You know, it's just like the summer league when the scouts are looking for someone to draft. Right now, Pat Riley is looking for a player to take him over the top. It's a 32-32 game.
1 minute to go in the half. Here's Houston. Marley picks him up on the perimeter, body on body. Ewing wants it. P.J. Brown guards him. Now the trap comes from Tim Hardaway. Back to Ewing. In the lane, got it.
Boy, that's a tough shot. P.J. Brown played that as well as you can play a guy.
40 seconds to go before the break. Willie Anderson. Marley guarded by Houston. Here's Hardaway for three. Still not there. They keep it alive. Marley gets it back. Screen. Three-pointer. There it is.
Pat Riley has his material. They're up by 1 point. Right now, they're going to be close at halftime. He has his material.
Houston, no over and back. Riley argues the call, but inexplicably, the Miami Heat, despite shooting horribly in the second quarter, find themselves up by one at the break. It's 35-34, Miami. And things don't get much better for New York. They shot under 40% for the half, 38.9.
Yeah, and the guy you have to look at it, you know, you look at a Patrick Ewing, right now 2 for 6, and Alonzo Mourning didn't play much in the first half.
Mourning is back out there. Here's Oakley. Allen Houston quickly underneath to Ewing, and the foul is going to be called on P.J. Brown. Well, Jeff Van Gundy, what do you think he talked about it?
Well, you know, we talked about Pat Riley. You know, Jeff Van Gundy is saying, guys, we have to close them out. You cannot give anybody light. If you let them see the light, they're going to go into New York thinking we win one more, and we come back home for Game 7. If you can, if you're good enough, you have to close it out.
Miami fighting history as well as the Knicks. Only 5 teams have ever come from a 3-1 deficit and won a 7-game series. The last to accomplish that was Houston in the 1995 Western Conference semifinals against Phoenix. Here's Chris Childs picking up the foul.
And they won the championship.
Right.
And that's, you know, Pat Riley knows it all and has it all. And that's the first thing he said. And here's a foul on Chris Childs. There's no such thing as foul trouble, though he has 3 for the Knicks at point guard position. Because you have him, you have Charlie Ward, you have John Starks, you have Scotty Brooks. They all can play point guard.
Hardaway back to Alonzo Mourning off the front rim. P.J. Brown tips it to Mourning, then finds Mourning underneath for the stop.
That's one of the few times in this series that Alonzo Mourning has been allowed to get all the way to the basket. You look here off the offensive rebound. Alonzo Mourning gets it back. Nobody fouls him.
In the meantime, though, there was a foul called on Tim Hardaway. That's his second. Oakley in the pick and roll, gets it back. Mourning guards him. P.J. Brown on Patrick Ewing. And traveling called on New York.
We've heard that a lot today, that call, the traveling call, and they did it because he did it on that one for sure.
Now Childs with a little backcourt pressure, and he feels P.J. Brown with the screen. 37-35 Miami. Brown looks underneath the Mourning. Rashawn Leonard is guarded by Johnson. Now Mourning backs in, takes the fadeaway, got it. 4-point lead. If you joined us late, Miami jumped off to a 13-2 lead. New York fought back and led by 1 at the end of 1. It was a 1-point game at the half as well. Ewing. cuts the lead to 2.
Knicks need any point they can get right now. You know, you got Patrick Ewing with P.J. Brown. It looks like that's the matchup they're going to try to exploit.
P.J. Brown guarded by Ewing, takes the jumper, in and out. Ewing with the rebound. 5 boards for Patrick Ewing and a chance to tie. Or take the lead, which they do on the three-pointer.
And that's something that Jeff Van Gundy has been trying to get Chris Childs to do, is pitch the ball ahead to Allen Houston so he can work before the defense is set and he gets a wide open 3.
Alonzo Mourning in the post a moment ago.
Yeah, and watch this. He's going to pivot right to the middle and get the exact shot he wants. It's a fadeaway, but that's the shot he likes.
Allen Houston gets the first New York three-pointer of the ball game, and it puts the Knicks back on top. Pat Riley talks things over during the 22nd timeout.
It's funny that every time Allen Houston or John Starks hits a quick 3 to open a quarter, Pat Riley jumps up and calls a timeout because he knows how important both of those guys are.
Want a golf lesson?
Yeah, I'd love one from him.
Shark is here. Got that Florida look, doesn't he?
Yeah, he lives in Orlando, I think, right?
No, Palm Beach.
Palm Beach, wow. I can't afford that.
Mourning. Oh, tough. And he goes to the line as Oakley picks up the foul.
Next foul, number 34, Charles Oakley.
And this is what Alonzo has to do. He is struggling, but he's also being aggressive. He just scored on the last one. That time he drew a foul. Now he has to make his free throws.
Jeff Van Gundy stands in front of Walt Frazier, whose help he might have wanted to use in the second quarter. And Alonzo Mourning, good sign for Miami. He's now 4 of 5 from the free throw line.
And he's making his free throws, Vern, because they're going to keep giving them to him. He's going to have to keep making them. He can go 5 in a row now, and they're still going to foul him.
1 of 2. Childs for New York. We're tied at 40 with 9:45 to go. Third quarter. The Knicks have owned the third quarter in 3 of the first 4 games. Oakley gets Mourning.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my goodness.
That is 2 things right now. That's the energy of Alonzo Mourning, who plays so hard. He just wants to get involved. And that's the smarts, the experience of Charles Oakley. Right when he's playing well, he gets his 4th foul, and now he has to go out. And that's the one he earned, because he earned that one.
Mourning scored all 5 Miami points in the quarter. How about the smarts of Oakley, though?
He's been big, and then he makes a shot. It's like salt on the wound. He's been big with him this entire series. MVP of this series, in my opinion.
2-point New York lead. And a turnover for Miami. Here comes Chris Childs. In the lane, puts it up, in and out. P.J. Brown flags it down. 3-on-3 now as Hardaway goes toward the basket. That's short. Ewing with the rebound. It's off his hands and out of bounds.
Great defense by Allen Houston, just keeping a bigger body in front of Tim Hardaway. Patrick Ewing, just watch this. Great defense, because what he does is just keeps his body between him and the basket, and Patrick Ewing just bobbles and rebounds. Oh.
Marley into Jamal Mashburn. Mashburn gets 2.
And they're going to need him or someone else besides Tim Hardaway to step up now that Alonzo's out of the game.
That is his first basket tonight. He's been all but invisible. Back it goes to Childs. Hardaway guarding him. Here's Larry Johnson. Marley picks him up. 3 on the shot clock. Childs, Larry Johnson, and Marley battle for the rebound, and Marley gets it. P.J. Brown goes at Ewing, puts it in. P.J. Brown with 14 points.
He's playing big. The Knicks are struggling right now for points.
Here comes Houston. Back to Childs. Passes on the three, takes the jumper.
You know, there's a rule. When you hesitate on the first one, you're not going to make the second one. That's what Chris Childs did.
Mashburn throws it into the stands. What in the world?
If I'm not going to go to Patrick Ewing, I'm going to Allan Houston. Oh, look at this pass here. No defense, just a bad pass. You know, in all the games so far before this one, it's been the great defense that's kept the score down. Today, it's just been bad play.
2-point Miami lead. Houston. Oakley, pump fake. Mashburn flies over him. Underneath. Patrick Ewing, no. Marley with another rebound. 4 rebounds for Dan Marley. Rashawn Leonard is guarded by Allan Houston. They put it in the hands of Mashburn. And he loses it. Boy, he's having a miserable time.
He really is. He really is. And he was a little careless with the basketball. You know, in college, you can play with that ball all you want to. When you get to the pros, you can't show the ball because you're going up against great athletes. I see that a lot with college players who were great ball handlers. They come in this league and they try the same things and they lose the ball. There's one exception, Allen Iverson.
Jump ball, Johnson. Rashawn Leonard gets it. 7:15 to go, third quarter. Leonard with the jumper. Yes! A 6-0 run. Van Gundy with a pensive look. 7 to go, third quarter.
And his run started when Alonzo Mourning went out of the game. The Knicks have a huge advantage. In Miami, they're playing harder right now.
Mashburn comes to help. Leaving Oakley open for the shot, but he's off the front rim. Hardaway. Dangerous pass.
Dangerous pass, and Charles Oakley on the spot again.
Oakley underneath. Foul called on P.J. Brown. That's his third. So Mourning has 4. Brown has 3. Time called.
The NBA playoffs on TNT. Brought to you by Plymouth. One cover idea after another. That's Plymouth. By Dutch Boy Paints. Give your home the lasting look of Dutch Boy. And by Super 8. Life's great at Super 8.
P.J. Brown has had a terrific night defensively and offensively, Doc.
Yeah, and without him, this game is a blowout for the Knicks. P.J. Brown has been huge. You got Alonzo Mourning on the bench. The best way to score is in transition game, and P.J. Brown probably can outrun anybody at his position.
Earns the applause of Alonzo Mourning, and defensively, he's got Ewing tonight, and Ewing 5 of 10 from the field. P.J. Brown with 8 rebounds, including 4 off the offensive glass. 1 block, and he just picked up his 3rd foul. Free agent acquisition, of course, who played in New Jersey last year, and a second-team All-NBA defensive member this year.
And I didn't get a big opportunity to watch him this year, and just watching him in this series and the last series, you know, he is a great defensive player. He's guarded Patrick Ewing 90% of the time in this series and has done a nice job.
Larry Johnson gets the first. Johnson has 2 free throws, and the lead is 2. 6:35 to go, third quarter. Hardaway guarded by Childs. Let's set those on the floor. Hardaway, Marley, Mashburn, P.J. Brown, and Rashawn Leonard. Here's Mashburn. Houston's right with Rashawn Leonard. The jumper, yes. Good move.
And good move by Pat Riley. He saw Rashawn Leonard make that last shot. That timeout, he drew up a play for Rashawn Leonard.
8 points for Leonard. Childs comes right. Houston guarded by Leonard. Underneath to Ewing, and there's P.J. Brown again. Ewing gets it to go.
And P.J. Brown with 3 fouls. The Knicks know that. They're going to try to get him out of the game. Right now, they'd rather get him out than Alonzo. He's killing them right now.
48-46, 5:40 to go, third quarter. If New York wins, they face Chicago in the Eastern Conference Finals. Here's Hardaway. Hardaway with 2 baskets tonight. Johnson backs in on Marley. Hardaway comes to help. They get the ball to Chris Childs. P.J. Brown was fronting Ewing, and the ball is thrown away.
Careless mistake by the Knicks. Great defense by P.J. Brown in the Heat.
5:15 to go, third quarter. Mourning went out with 9.5 to go in this third quarter with his 4th foul. And he sat the last 7 of the first half, and Dan Marley with the 3-pointer.
You give Dan Marley that much time with the bad back or not, he's going to make the shot.
Marley 1 of 4. Pick and roll, Oakley and Childs. Houston, quick touch into Ewing. Marley comes to help. That leaves Johnson open. Oakley, there's something new. Oakley diving for a loose ball.
Going to the floor.
Houston. Oh, tough shot. Johnson, loose ball foul, and he's going to be called for it. That's his 4th. Watch Oakley.
Well, this is what he does. He's just keeping the ball alive to give his shooters a chance to make a shot for him.
4th on Johnson, so he sits.
And Jeff Van Gundy senses that his team right now is struggling. They just need some energy. So he's going with the 3-guard offense. And right now, 2 of them are point guards.
Charlie Ward comes in. Allen Houston will get a rest, so it's Ward and Childs and Starks along with Ewing and Oakley. Here's Deshaun Leonard. Gets a good screen. Oh, yeah. 3-pointer. Deshaun Leonard. 3 of 3 in the quarter. In this series, Deshaun Leonard, the shooting guard, has had only 1 quarter worth memory. That was the first quarter of Game 3 when he had 4 3-pointers. But then he came alive in this quarter, Doc.
And it's been huge because Alonzo Mourning is out. They're struggling for offense, and he's doing it off the dribble there, which is big because that's called creating offense. And right here is just a catch and shoot again. Nice shot by Deshaun Leonard.
In the meantime, on the bench, Alonzo Mourning with 4 fouls is doing a little preaching. And I don't think Jamal Mashburn is listening.
Well, right now, he's not appreciating it because he said, listen, I'm on the court. He said, show me the way.
An 8-point lead, 4:10 to go, third quarter. Chris Childs guarded by Deshaun Leonard. Here comes John Starks. Quick move in the lane. The putback from Patrick Ewing.
And for the first time in this game, the energy. The first time in the game, the crowd's into it. Deshaun Leonard and P.J. Brown are responsible for it. But now both teams will probably join into play.
Hardaway, Mashburn, Deshaun Leonard, P.J. Brown, and Marley from Miami. The 2-point guards and John Starks on the floor for New York, along with Oakley and Ewing. Mashburn. 5 on the shot clock. Deshaun Leonard. Oh, he feels it, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah. You can see it on his face. You can see the confidence, the swagger on his face. You can look at his expression here. He's looking at you like he's going to shoot it. He does. He makes it. And that is not an easy shot. Gets fouled on the shot and still makes it.
And let's check in with Brian Burwell.
No, Vern, it is funny how a man's personality can change dramatically when he does feel it. Deshaun Leonard was a chatterbox in that last huddle. He just kept on telling Pat all the plays that he could get free on, and obviously Pat Riley is listening to him. Back to you guys.
It's amazing as a player when you're playing well. And that's in every player, in every huddle in the NBA. You can look at a huddle and you can tell who's rolling. It's the guy who's running his mouth usually.
3-point play for Deshaun Leonard in the Heat. And John Wallace has made his first appearance in the game, the rookie from Syracuse. 57-48, 3.5 to go, third quarter. Here's Ward. Right side, John Wallace for a quick 2.
And we talked about Pat Riley searching for someone. John Wallace is in the game right now. That speaks volumes.
Ward and Wallace, Ewing and Oakley And John Starks. Chris Childs did pick up his 4th foul. So he and Johnson both on the bench with 4. Mourning sits with 4. Hardaway. And he got it. Hardaway with 9 points now.
And that's the guy you don't want to get going, and the Knicks are going to allow that.
Starks. Marley. Loose ball foul on John Wallace.
Watch the Heat defense right now. Rashawn Leonard following John Starks, hand in the face. That's what Pat Riley wants, effort.
In the penalty, Marley goes to the free throw line. 2:43 to go, 3rd quarter, and Miami up by 9.
And I should say, welcome to the Miami Heat fans.
Right.
I'm glad they showed up for us.
Marley gets the first. Buck Williams will re-enter the game for New York.
Buck Williams in the game.
And Patrick Ewing will rest. In this series, New York has been dominant in the 3rd quarter. That's when they've taken decisive leads. But tonight, Miami, most of this 9-point margin in the 3rd quarter accomplished with Mourning on the bench.
And that's what's so remarkable. Alonzo Mourning sitting on the bench, and I don't care if he's playing well or not. Just his presence is big for them, and yet they extend this lead to 10 points.
Back in double digits, they did lead by 11, 13-2 in the opening moments of the game. Wallace Starks, quick shot, foul by Rashawn Leonard. Remember the important foul at the end of Game 3 when Rashawn Leonard fouled John Starks on a 3-pointer and he sank all 3 free throws.
And here's another one. What Rashawn Leonard is saying is that when John Starks shoots, he kicks his legs up. A lot like, I don't know if people remember World Be Free. He used to do the same thing. And that's actually, it's supposed to be called as a charging foul if you kick somebody when you're shooting and connect.
Got the first. Coming up tomorrow night from Seattle, the Rockets and the Sonics, the Western Semifinals, Game 6. Bob Neal and Chuck Daly, who are getting a few frequent flyer miles out west, back in Seattle. One more for Starks.
And again, big foul. You know, just like the last time he fouled a guy behind the three, Rashawn Leonard fouls the same guy. He's made 2.
All 3 for Starks. 2:25 to go, 3rd quarter. Marley guarded by John Wallace. Knocked out of bounds by Charlie Ward. In this quarter, look at Miami, 71%.
And a lot of them have been tough shots with hand in the face. John Starks has just switched on Rashawn Leonard. And it doesn't matter right now.
12 points in the quarter for Rashawn Leonard. 2 minutes to go in the quarter and a 9-point lead. Leonard guards Starks. Here's John Wallace, picked up by Marley. Foul away from the ball. Rashawn Leonard picks up his 4th foul.
And him and John Starks have been going at it for the last 3 minutes of this game. Look at here. Look at John Starks trying to get up in him, play him as tight as possible. Still makes the shot. Better move. Great defense. Better offense.
Starks back at the free throw line where he shoots. One more.
And how about that? Right when he gets going, Alonzo Mourning starts to feel it a little bit in the 3rd quarter, picks up his 4th foul. Rashawn Leonard finally starting to get on track, picks up his 4th foul. Now you both sit. And if you're watching this game, you're thinking, well, they'll be hot when they come back in. You never know when a guy is going to be hot. If a guy's hot, you ride him until he stops. Now with his 4th foul, he has to stop.
New York continues its excellence at the free throw line. There's a foul on Charlie Ward. New York 8 of 9 at the free throw line in the third quarter. A 7-point margin. If there is a Game 6, it'll be in New York on Friday night at 8 o'clock on TNT. And if there's a Game 7 back here on Sunday on NBC, time to be announced. Tim Hardaway at the line. You know what Tim Hardaway was telling me about an hour and a half before the game? When he was 10 years old, he used to take a bus to go watch you and Isaiah Thomas on the playground outdoors.
Well, he had nothing to do there in Chicago, obviously.
He said there were some great matchups.
There were some great games. And in my opinion, I won them all.
We'll hear from Toronto shortly. Bavetta looks at Pat Riley.
He fouled for 35. Willie Anderson is second.
Willie Anderson picks up his second foul. Riley is close.
He is. He's on the line right now.
Flirting with the dreaded T is Pat Riley.
And what Pat Riley is thinking, he said, listen, this has been a physical series, and tonight we are calling tic-tac fouls, and we're calling them on both teams.
Starks perfect from the line tonight. Until then.
The jinx.
And as we come down the stretch in the fourth quarter, look at the guys in foul trouble. Childs and Johnson sit with 4. Leonard and Mourning have 4.
And foul trouble is much more important to Miami because their bench is not as deep as New York's.
Starks 1 of 2. The lead is 8 with 1:37 to go, third quarter. Hardaway, Charlie Ward makes a pass at the ball. Hardaway takes him off the dribble. How about Buck Williams?
Boy, those are 37-year-old legs. That's his second big block.
Loose ball. Travel. New York. 15 Knick turnovers.
Turnovers are allowing Miami to have an 8-point lead and stay in this game and stay in this series.
Hardaway again and Charlie Ward. Oakley guards Mashburn. P.J. Brown puts it back in the hands of Tim Hardaway. 1:05 in the period, 7 on the shot clock. Hardaway, whoa. Out of bounds, off P.J. Brown.
Awful shot, but there was no time on the clock. He dribbled himself into a bad shot. There's nowhere else to go. There's 1 second on the shot clock, and he had the ball. He had to shoot it.
50 seconds to go, third quarter. Starks. P.J. Brown with the rebound. He's got 9 rebounds now. It was 40-40, 9.5 to go, third quarter, when Mourning sat down with his 4th foul. He's not been back. And yet, Miami has jumped out to an 8-point lead. Deshaun Leonard accounting for most of those points. Marley and John Wallace picks up the foul. They got the energy they needed, Doc, from Deshaun Leonard.
Yeah, it's been a quarter of a miracle quarter for the Heat. Deshaun Leonard gets to rolling. He has to sit down. Alonzo Mourning has basically sat down this entire fourth quarter, and if Dan Marley makes both of these free throws, they're up 10 points.
Crotty and Ike Austin come back on the floor for Miami. Alonzo Mourning with 3 minutes in the quarter, and he sat the last 7 minutes of the second quarter. And P.J. Brown has had a heroic effort tonight.
He's been really big. I mean, we keep hitting on it and talking about it, but you have to because he's been so key tonight.
Final 25 seconds, the lead back to 10. Here's John Wallace, and Marley defends him.
Interesting play here. John Wallace, the rookie, with the ISO to end the quarter, a la Kobe Bryant.
See if he shoots an air ball. Starks. Huge!
Oh, wow.
Oh, what a big basket. Willie Anderson finds Crotty. John Starks hit the last 9 points for New York. But for the first time in this series, the Miami Heat have outscored the New York Knicks in quarter number 3. One stanza to play. Miami leads it by 7.
This program is authorized under broadcasting rights granted by the National Basketball Association. Any publication, reproduction, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the expressed written consent of the National Basketball Association is prohibited.
Welcome back to Miami, Florida. Game 5, 1997. Eastern Conference semifinals. John Crotty inbounds for the Miami Heat. They find themselves up 66-59. Here's Willie Anderson on the 4, out of bounds, turnover Miami.
But you can see the Miami Heat right now. You can see how they're cutting. They're cutting hard. They're going into a fourth quarter with a lead in a game where all their key guys have been in foul trouble or have not played well, and they're winning. They feel it.
Marley guards Houston. Backdoor cut. And an offensive goaltending call on Willie Anderson. Basket counts. P.J. Brown getting ready to come back.
And P.J. Brown giving them energy. John Starks is giving the Knicks energy.
Starks with 11 points in succession now for the New York Knicks. Mashburn, Ike Austin, Ewing back on the floor. They kick it back outside to Jamal Mashburn. Marley over Houston. No. Rebound, New York. They trail by 5. Starks. Anderson guards him. Here's Ewing. Gets his own miss, puts it in.
He's bigger. He's bigger than everybody on the court for Miami, so he gets his own rebound. This is a tough time right here for Miami. They have to be careful.
Alonzo Mourning getting ready to come back in with the 4 fouls. Turnover, John Crotty. Turnover returned by New York, and that gives Riley time to get Hardaway, Brown, and Mourning back on the floor.
Yeah, really a big turnover. The Knicks turn the ball over, have a chance to cut it to a 1-point or tie the score. Now Riley gets to bring his key guys back in the game, and now this time they must respond because the guys on the bench showed them how to do it, and that was with effort.
Anderson guarded by Starks. 3-point margin. Knicks have scored the last 7. Skip pass, Marley. Off the dribble, underneath, got it. Nice play.
Great play. Great pass by Dan Marley. Great position by Willie Anderson.
68-63, in and out, and the foul on Anderson.
Once again. And John Starks right now is huge for the Knicks. Once again, he did run into him after the shot.
Go back and look at the Marley pass just to play before that.
And look at that. Really, you have to put that pass right on the spot or it's going to be deflected or stolen. That's a great pass by Dan Marley.
For the second time tonight, Starks shoots 3 free throws.
And he's feeling it right now himself. And he's a guy that the Knicks can ride because of energy.
He has one more. He tried. Oh.
Body English.
Yes. Two of 3 on this trip. And the lead is 3 for Miami.
Miami has to be very careful right here. Because if you start giving a good team a chance to close you out, they will.
Mourning to Marley. Quickly to Willie Anderson for 3.
Oh, big shot.
Huge.
Big shot. And Willie Anderson is playing big minutes for Miami.
Saw his first extensive action on Monday when he played 20 minutes. Under 10 to go. Here's Mourning out on top with Starks. Starks has scored 13 points in the last 4.5 minutes. Oh, Marley with a play. Here comes Hardaway. And the foul is called on Charlie Ward. 9:38 to go in regulation. The Heat trying to stave off elimination. And now it's time to take a look at tonight's Dutch boy in the paint. Rebounding edge to Miami offensively, 10-6. P.J. Brown accountable for those. And the Heat with 11 second chance points to 6 for New York. But a moment ago, a big three-pointer from Willie Anderson.
Yeah, really big shot. The Knicks were back in the game, and what happens? Willie Anderson steps up and makes the three. I think Pat Riley has done a wonderful job looking and searching to find somebody to step up. He put Willie Anderson in the game late yesterday, in their last game, and Willie Anderson responded. And since then, he's been involved in this series.
Marley, P.J. Brown, Hardaway, Mourning, and Willie Anderson. And let's see if they got Willie Anderson again. No, it's on Starks. Anderson kind of tiptoed away, fearing that they'd called it on him. 71-65, 9.5 to go. Baseline. Kick it out to Marley, who spots up for three. Loose ball, tracked down by Houston, and he finds Charlie Ward. Buck Williams, Ward, Allen Houston, Ewing, and Starks for New York. Shot will not count. Offensive foul.
Offensive foul
on Patrick Ewing.
Number 33, Patrick Ewing. His third personal foul.
I don't know if you ever saw him. And this game, I tell you, it's been called so tight. I think that has upset the rhythm of this game more than anything.
Hardaway backs Ward in, looks underneath for Mourning. Mourning trying to fight through his screen, and a whistle underneath. This foul called on Buck Williams.
And you can see both coaches every time the whistle blows. I mean, they're looking around thinking, what's going on here?
Third team foul of the quarter. Anderson finds P.J. Brown with the jumper. No. But there's Alonzo Mourning. Out of bounds. No foul called. Miami will throw it in. Marley. P.J. Brown. Hardaway is 3 of 15 from the field tonight. Dribble penetration, tough shot. 3 of 16.
And we keep talking about Alonzo Mourning not being in the game. Tim Hardaway has been in the game, but he's struggling. Yet look at the score, 71-65 Miami.
Ewing on the pass from Starks. Gets close, misses. P.J. Brown with another rebound. He's got 10. Willie Anderson. Quick move underneath, up and under, got it. Boy, has he played well.
He's playing really well. It's amazing because you would think that a guy who hasn't played couldn't come in and play this well, and he's playing comfortable.
Willie Anderson played with the Knicks for part of last season. He saw action in only 28 of the 82 regular season games this year. Starks. Oh.
Without John Starks in this game, it would be over for the Knicks.
Miami turnover. Here comes Starks again. 3-on-2. Right side. Houston for 3. Yes.
Oh, timeout. Timeout. All calls by John Starks. Look at this. John Starks just makes a shot, gets the steal, finds the right person, gets it to Allen Houston with a wide open three. Good. Dribble penetration was a key, has been a key in this series. And take a look here at Willie Anderson. Baseline, taking it all the way to the basket and reversing. And John Starks on the other end saying, what you can do, Willie, I can do better. Taking it all the way in. He scored the last 11 out of the 15 points for the Knicks. John Starks and Willie Anderson have been huge.
2 big baskets by New York, though, cut the lead down to 3. That last one, a three-pointer from Allen Houston. Now Hardaway guarded by Charlie Ward. Starks has Willie Anderson. Marley guarded by Houston. 5 on the shot clock. They try and find Mourning. And Mourning is fouled by John Starks.
And see the little elbow that Mourning threw. You don't need to do that because the ref might interpret that wrong and give you a foul or a technical.
Fourth team foul. 3-point Miami margin. Now Willie Anderson. Alonzo Mourning. Buck Williams defends him. Double comes from Houston. Marley kicks it over to Hardaway. Entry pass to P.J. Brown, traveling.
Yeah, he did it.
Mourning is saying to Marley, get the ball to me.
Well, he wants it because when he went out, or the 4 minutes he played in the third quarter, he's playing well. He hasn't had a lot of touches because he's been on the bench. He wants to get involved in this basketball game.
Oh, did he put a pick on Starks just then? Oh, my gosh. Here's Starks for three. Air ball. Mourning knocked him sideways. Hardaway at the other end. Now Alonzo Mourning, pump fake, drives hard, and he'll go to the free throw line. Watch the pick that Mourning put on Starks.
Oh, wow. And you don't know if John is flopping or not, but I think that was a solid pick.
22nd timeout, New York.
Again, do you want to set that pick? If you're Alonzo, he can't help himself. He's a guy who plays physical basketball, and he can't help himself. He wants to get involved in this game in any way he can.
Give me some keys now, Doc. 6.5 to go, a 3-point margin. What's significant here at the end of the game?
Well, what's significant for the Heat is to keep guys on the court. If they can keep Alonzo on the court, and if they can just get anything out of Tim Hardaway, I think they have an excellent chance of winning the game. For the Knicks, you don't know. Someone has to step up and score points. John Starks has really been the only guy since mid-third quarter, and he's still carrying the team.
Starks, 26 minutes tonight, 6 of 12 from the field, and twice he's been at the line to shoot 3 free throws. He has scored 15 of the last 20 points for New York.
Which says Patrick Ewing and Allen Houston and Larry Johnson has not been involved in the offense.
Mourning is at the free throw line. He's 4 of 6 there tonight, under 50% in this series. Wow.
See, and in most cases, being in the penalty is a good thing. For the Heat, it might not be. It might be a curse to be in a penalty. They would much rather take the ball out of bounds.
Neither team has a 20. Miami with 3 fouls to give.
And that's a big stat. 3 fouls to give with 6.5 minutes left is really important in the type of basketball that these two teams play.
6:25 in regulation. Here's Starks. Marley has it. Mourning comes out to help. Allen Houston. Patrick Ewing. Oh, boy.
Patrick Ewing, great hook shot, but great pass by Allen Houston. Dribble drive.
19 for Ewing, and the lead is 2. Ward picks up Hardaway. Now Mourning. Back to Hardaway. Quickly to Mourning. Strong move for the basket. Got it.
Strong move by Alonzo. Alonzo's into this game. You can see it. He is into this game, and they have to feed him because you don't know how long he'll be in this game.
He plays with 4 fouls, and that's always living on the edge of the cliff. Knocked out of bounds by P.J. Brown. Watch Patrick Ewing a moment ago.
Yeah, and look at the drive by Houston, but look at this shot. Great hook shot. Both guys are into it, both of the big guys. On the other end, it's Alonzo Mourning being aggressive.
Ball inbounded down. Charles Oakley's back on the floor, and they give it to Ewing. In the lane? No. Rebound, P.J. Brown. He's got 11. Right side, left side, Marley. Skip pass. Rashawn Leonard's back on the floor. Had a huge third quarter before he got in foul trouble. Isolation play, shoots over, no good.
And the difference is when he was hot, he had Charlie Ward and John Starks. Now he has a 6'6" guy in Allen Houston, and the shots are a lot tougher.
5 to go in regulation. Houston. Oakley with the jumper. Way short. Marley, Leonard, here comes Hardaway. Loose ball. Hardaway finds Deshaun Leonard for three. This time, Hardaway got on the floor. Oakley wasn't in the area.
Yeah, the difference is that Allen Houston did not until late.
Deshaun Leonard for three. Deshaun Leonard with a huge three. John Starks and Leonard have been the offense at shooting guard tonight. Chris Childs back on the floor for New York. He plays with Starks, Oakley, Ewing, and Houston.
And you can believe Pat Riley in the huddle was saying, "Do you believe?"
Riley saying yesterday everybody had written them off, and he knew that. That was part of his motivational speech. Here's Starks. Travel. Ooh. 19 New York turnovers. They've not had that problem in the first 4 games of this series. 4:15 remaining in regulation. Miami trying to avoid elimination, up by 7. P.J. Brown looks inside for Mourning. He's guarded by Oakley. Now Marley again. Nice play. Brown. Oakley with the hard foul.
And Charles Oakley, you know they're not giving up any free layups. A great cut by P.J. Brown, and now he's on the line.
Where he is 4 of 6 tonight. Oakley gets his 3rd foul. Of 26 now at the line for a Miami team that has struggled 15 feet from the hole.
And it's really neat watching the Heat's expressions and their body motion from now until the beginning of this game when they had very little. Now they're animated, they're into the game.
Ewing guarded by Brown. 3:42 to go. In and out. Marley fights hard for the rebound and yells at Oakley.
Yeah, you can see it. You can see it on their face. Do you believe? They believe now.
Tim Hardaway guarded by Childs. Here's Marley. Deshaun Leonard on the curl. Kicks it back to Marley for 3. Miami getting huge help from their bench tonight. Marley with 9 points, 6 rebounds. Willie Anderson, 4 of 5 from the field. And here's Charlie Ward, guarded by Hardaway. A 10-0 run now for Miami. Starks in the lane. Things got suddenly quiet. Marley picked up his first foul.
Yeah, I think the crowd thought it was on Alonzo Mourning.
Well, what an amazing story tonight with Mourning sitting for much of the second quarter, almost all of the third in foul trouble. And despite his absence, Miami increasing, or rather gaining a lead.
Well, what a wonderful comeback. I mean, they were all but dead, and yet they're going to go to game 6 the way this looks.
Charlie Ward with probably an unfortunate shot. Oh, dear. There's Childs and Hardaway with the foul. That's his 3rd, but they had a foul to give.
And every time Jeff Van Gundy has gone to the 3-guard offense tonight, he's had to do it with 2 point guards. He did it once in the first half where he got to use Starks and Houston together. But again, he has 2 point guards and 1 shooting guard, and you need points.
Starks, Ewing, and Mourning battling each other now with Their former coach, John Thompson, looking on. Here's Starks. Jumper. Nope, wasn't there. Childs finds it for 2. 2:28 to go. The lead is 10.
The Knicks are showing a trap here, something that they are not used to doing because they're not a trapping defensive team.
Back in the hands of Hardaway. P.J. Brown now. 5 on the shot clock. Here's Hardaway. 2 on the shot. In and out. Put back to Stone. P.J. Brown has been a stalwart. Turnover, New York. Oakley in his face and Mourning managing a smile. Now P.J. Brown and Chris Childs having at each other. The former New Jersey Net teammates. Oakley and Mourning, technical foul. Oakley's out of here.
Oakley was the instigator.
Yep. Speaking of stoic, Hardaway is chatting with Oakley now. 2 technicals on Oakley and a personal on Oakley. Bavetta with the second technical as Oakley took a rather pathetic swing.
Yeah, I don't think it was a swing, but it wasn't. It was almost a reaction to get off of him.
Hardaway cans the first technical.
I think Oakley looked up at that score, said, we stink, and I want to get out of here because it smells. I want to get in the locker room.
Second technical is good. Now, Doc, you know this. A 7-game series can be a fragile thing.
Really fragile, and confidence can be fragile. I thought the Miami Heat were dead when they came into this game. They showed no emotion. I thought they didn't have the confidence that they could win this game. I thought it was for the Knicks taking. They didn't take it. Now they've just waked up a sleeping dog, and you never know what can happen in Game 6. Tim Hardaway can get hot. And if he gets hot, they can win. And then you have Game 7 here. Like I said, before this series started, before this game started, if I'm Pat Riley, I'm saying there's 3 games left. 2 are in Miami.
1:53 left in this one, a 14-point lead. The decided free throw edge had been New York's. With the exception of Game 2, Miami has been terrible at the line. Tonight, they've improved. Hardaway gets another one. He's 6 of 7 from the line tonight. And as a team, Miami hitting 72%.
Well, I think free throws, if you just look at straight numbers, which I try never to look at, have been the difference. You can count it. Now, you're looking over here at the Knicks' faces. They're all disappointed. They're mad. They know the chance that they had, and now they have to fight for this series.
P.J. Brown throws Charlie Ward. Watch out. This one's going to get really ugly. P.J. Brown picked Charlie Ward up and threw him into the photographer's row. I don't know what began this struggle, but I did see P.J. Brown pick Ward up and heave him upside down.
And I guarantee you this is the reason you threw Charlie Ward down and the Knicks guys are getting involved, because he's the guy that they love on this team. This is just ridiculous.
P.J. Brown is not distinguishing himself and the citizenship award he was given earlier this year. Watch the right of your screen.
And you can see them there, right there. Charlie Ward is just boxing out, basically. Oh, wow. That's what started it. Charlie Ward getting thrown by P.J. Brown is what started it all. That's ugly.
John Wallace was there to take P.J. Brown down.
And you know what, Bern? I'm never a guy to say you should fight, but you get thrown like that, Charlie Ward has to defend himself.
And a technical foul has been called on the Knicks. John Starks. He has been ejected.
And you can see here what prompted this whole thing. Charlie Ward is trying to box out P.J. Brown on the free throw. Charlie Ward is getting low. P.J. Brown just loses it. He gets frustrated, throws Charlie Ward down, and from there, it's a free-for-all. Guys are just jumping on, getting involved. Oh, wow.
Now, here's the aftermath of it all. A technical fouls called on Brown and Ward and John Starks, and all three ejected from the game.
And I think that's unfair. I don't think Charlie Ward did anything to get ejected but respond from getting body slammed.
Absolutely.
What else are you going to do? So I thought the only after that, that anyone who left the bench, and John Starks did, you should get a technical foul. But P.J. Brown started that. P.J. Brown's the guy that should have been thrown out of the game. Charlie Ward should still be in this game.
Charlie Ward was playing basketball, and P.J. Brown was not. It's a 17-point game with an ugly finish. Here's Scotty Brooks on the floor now. Takes the runner, gets the basket. John Crotty with a foul.
He fouled number 11, John Crotty.
So again, Brown and Ward, technical fouls and ejections, and then John Starks for leaving the bench, technical and an ejection.
And it's no coincidence that Pat Riley and Jeff Van Gundy have taken out their key players, because this game has gotten out of hand. They have both conceded. Riley gets the win, Van Gundy gets the loss, but they're not going to lose any more players.
So Oakley gone, Brown gone, Ward gone, Starks gone. Leonard, one of the stars of this Miami victory tonight. So has Dan Marley been. Marley back to John Crotty. Marley for three. Why not? Buck Williams takes Crotty down. Crotty is on the floor in front of us.
And that's why Pat Riley and Van Gundy took their guys out. And you can bet that the Knicks are set at Charlie Ward being thrown in the crowd. And unfortunately, if I'm Pat Riley, I'm telling my guys, shoot jump shots for the rest of this game.
Well, this game not a sellout tonight. Perhaps you heard about the raising of ticket prices. They were raised an average of 167% for some 4,000 seats. And public relations disaster for the Heat, because it was not announced until people came to get the tickets. There's 43 seconds to go in regulation. So there will be a game 6. It will be in the Garden on Friday night. Crotty finds John Wallace, 94-79. Here's McCarty, and he gets that to fall.
And you just hope that the fight, no one gets suspended. That's what you're worried about. It all started with Charles Oakley, actually, and he's doing it to try to get guys going. I don't know what he was doing, but then P.J. Brown's body slam is what started the big free-for-all, and you just hope no one gets suspended for a game. It could happen.
But Sean Leonard is fouled, and will go to the free throw line. Larry Johnson has not been on the floor in the fourth quarter. Game 6, Friday night, Madison Square Garden. We get an 8 o'clock start, and Game 7, if necessary, back here in Miami on Sunday. Leonard gets another.
And I tell you, if you're the Knicks, you have to be nervous, because anything can happen again. And I keep saying it. They had a chance to close it out. They didn't. Now you got a Miami Heat team that thinks that they can win again.
Ward, Brooks, Wallace at the buzzer. Miami lives to play another day. Game 6 for Pat Riley and the Heat. They now trail 3 games to 2, and let's check in with Brian Burwell.